Hello everyone. Now that we have exported our IP from Vitis HLS, we can now go ahead to Vivado and create our block diagram from here to generate the bitstream. So this is how Vivado should look like. We'll click on create project, click on next. We can name our project whatever we want to. I will call it demo matrix. Now click on next. Now we can select whatever board we want to use. We're using a ZCU111 board. So I'll select that board. If this board is not showing up for any particular reason, you can go ahead and download the board files from the internet and paste it in the folder where the other board files are. That should help. Now we can click on finish and this will create the project for us. So the project is now created. The first thing we need to do is we need to import our IP from Vitis HLS. So we'll go to tools, we'll go to settings, we'll click on IP repository. So currently we have not added any IP repository to our project. So what we'll do is we'll click on the plus icon and then we'll go ahead and find our Vitis project. And we're going to add a Vitis project to the IP here, the Vitis IP here. So I'll find my location for my Vitis project. And as you can see in the IP list, I can see my matrix multiplication 8 unoptimized IP, which is nice. Click on apply, click on OK. Now the IP has successfully imported to Vivado. So now we can create a block design. We can name it whatever we want to. Wait for it to complete. And now we can go ahead and start uh, creating our block design. So we click on the plus icon. The first thing we'll do is we'll import our first thing we'll do is we'll add a PS to our board. So we'll add the Zinc Ultra Scale PS. So let us configure our IP by default. Configure the block by default by clicking on Run Block Automation. So now for data transfer on my board, I'll be using the HP port. So I'll go to the PSPL configuration. I'll be using a slave HP port. Select anyone from here. Click on OK. So now this looks fine. I can go ahead and now add my DMA. DMA is the direct memory access. This essentially is responsible for transferring data between the PS and the PL. Also to convert memory map to stream, stream to memory map. This is very important. So let's first of all configure our DMA. We'll disable the scatter gather engine. We'll set our buffer length register to be the maximum value. And since we're using float is 32 bits, so the memory mapped and the stream data width look fine at 32. The burst size can be maximum, and we can also allow unaligned transfers. Great. So now our DMA is configured. So Vivado actually helps us here. We get a run connection automation pop-up here. This will do a few of the connections for us. We should get another pop-up and a few more. Okay. Now that these connections are done, we can click on regenerate the layout so that it looks a little neat. But we have still not added an HLS IP to the block design. So what we can do is we can look for an HLS IP and we found it here. So as you can see, Vivado did not give a pop-up to run connection automations because these connections we have to make ourselves. So what the DMA essentially does is it also converts the memory map to stream and stream to memory map. So whatever data I'm getting from the external DDR memory, it is all memory map. And my HLS IP is an AXS stream interface. So I have to convert that memory map data to stream. This is what my DMA does. And when it is sending the data to the IP, the DMA acts as the master. So we use the master MM to export, sorry, the master MM to export to connect to the input uh, interface of my HLS IP. As you can see, we got a green tick mark here as well, which means the connections were fine. And similarly, once the IP has processed all the data, it has to give it back to the DMA, which will again convert it from stream to memory map to give it back to the DDR memory. So we'll again go to output and we'll connect it to the S2 port. Here the DMA is the slave and the IP is the master. So great. And as you can see, we got a pop-up because clocks and resets are not connected yet. And this is something which HLS can do on its own. Now that we have done that, we can click on regenerate block layout, regenerate layout, so that our block design looks nice. So now our design is technically complete. If we go ahead and validate the design, it should be correct. But what we can do is we can also add debugging elements to our block design so that later if for some reason the HLS IP is not working and we're not able to figure out why it is not working, we can actually look at the waveforms on Vivado to understand where we are going wrong. So that's a good practice. So what we'll do is for the input port, I'll right click for the input wiring to the DMA. I'll right click on that wire connection. I'll click on debug. Similarly for output, I'll right click. I will click on debug. Now also for my DMA, I can debug a few more connections. This all the DMA connections except the clock and the reset. That is set them to also have a debugging element that if in case we have any issue later, it is resolved. So then you should get a run connection automation pop-up. This will connect the ILA, which is the logic analyzer, to the block design. Regenerate the layout once this is completed. And as you can see, an ILA logic analyzer has been added to my block design. So now it is complete. We can go ahead and validate our design by clicking on this icon. As you can see, the validation was successful. There were no errors. That is nice. So now we can move on to the next step. The next step is to generate the output products. So this is our block design. We'll right click. We'll click on generate output products. Now it is very important that we wait for this entire process to complete. Once a sub process is done, we'll get a pop-up which says the output product is generated. This does not mean the entire process is completed. Uh, Once this is complete, this generate IP is completed, we'll have to look for this ready pop-up in our top right corner. When both of these are in sync, that is we see a ready and this is complete, that is when we move on to the next step. Now we get a pop-up that the output product is generated. We click on OK, but we will not continue to the next step because still we can see a background process is running. So we'll wait for this to complete and then we'll go on to the next step. Now this ready confirms here that all background processes are now completed. So now we can go on to the next step. So now what we'll do is we'll right click on our block design and we'll generate the HDL wrapper. So we'll right click, we'll click on create HDL wrapper, wait for it to create it. And as you can see, a wrapper has been created. Now what we have to do is we have to run sys implementation and bitstream. So we can either do it one by one, or what we can do is we can click on generate bitstream and this will run all the steps for us. So we'll click on generate bitstream, click on yes, and this will take a couple of minutes and this should do all the steps for us. So let's wait for our bitstream to be completed. Now that the bitstream generation is successfully completed, we can click on cancel and this has run all the steps for us. So we can now directly go ahead and test our block diagram on the board to see whether the IP is working or not.